Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another terrific episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. I'm your host, that ocean crossing, straight up Boston, flight catching, shot glass snatching. Where's he going next? Nobody knows. Four continents down, two more to go. No cap, straight facts, the worldwide starboy, Remy Blue. But it's not about me. See, we have a special guest tonight, a man who is just beginning his journey in professional wrestling, and he is doing it as one half of Tremendous Magnificence. That's right. The other half, if you're wondering, is our alumni guest that we recently had on, El Magnifico.
Mi
And
hermano.
right now, we have his tag team partner on, who is actually, along with El Magnifico, is going to be showing the world their terrific and magnificent styles of wrestling. Everybody, welcome to the show, El Terrifico. How you doing tonight, sir?
Hola, ¿cómo estás? I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Great, great. I was rushing home from work. I was like, man, I was actually excited because I'm like, wow, we get to speak to another masked wrestler, and not just a masked wrestler, a guy who is doing his thing in the tag team division. We don't have a lot of tag team masked wrestlers these days. Well, most specifically in the United States. Uh, Especially mainstream. So I was like so excited to actually get home and actually, talk to somebody that is of that style,
Yeah.
and also is also from the Creative Pro Wrestling Academy, which we don't have a lot of people from there on our show, but you know we were always glad to hear from one of their students. So special shout out to Pat Buck and Kevin Matthews.
And
um
Brian Myers.
Brian Myers, yes. My apologies. Brian Myers as well too. Shout out to those guys. They are doing great work over there in at Creative Pro Wrestling. And so how is everything going for you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Happy that I can be teaming with my fellow brother in Magnifico, mi hermano. Uh, it's something we've been talking about since I started training not that long ago. Me and Magnifico were like two peas in a pod, if you could say,
Okay.
and we're very excited to show everyone some terrific lucha libre.
Awesome. Well, I gotta say, I'm looking forward to seeing that too as well. Hope you guys get to, do your thing all over the world, not just all over the nation, not just all over the country, but all over the world as well, because you'll get to actually experience a lot of different cultures, different cities, you know, especially when it's you and your tag team partner there. It's always a great thing. But before I actually go further, I normally ask, pretty much like the majority of our guests this question. How did it all start for you? How did your love for wrestling start? Was it a pay-per-view? Was it or PLE as they call them now? What was the match that got your interest?
Uh, I think for me, I think because my brother grew up watching it. I have another brother besides Magnifico,
Okay.
and he's older than both of us. And I remember growing up watching it with him because he was also a fan of wrestling. And I think for me, it'd have to probably be WrestleMania 20, specifically that like cruiserweight title gauntlet match that was involved, the one that Ultimo Dragon hilariously slips on in his entrance.
Okay.
Um,
I remember that.
yeah, it's so it I don't that's like burned into my brain.
Yeah.
But I think it's just like that match and like seeing guys like Rey Mysterio being a big influence, and like Ultimo Dragon, Jamie Noble, like those types of wrestlers are like the ones that I liked watching and still do.
Wow, that's cool, man. So I didn't know you and Magnifico are actually brothers. Wow, that's crazy. How did I know I would have
Yeah.
had both of y'all on the same time? Wow. Oh man. Well, I'll tell you what. If you guys are down for it, in a year or so, I'd like to have both members of Tremendous Magnificence back. That we
Yeah,
had that tag team thing going on and so on. And yeah, I know he was teaming with. He mentioned I don't know if you know this. Well, you probably do. Uranagi. He was teaming with him
yeah, I know about New York.
um,
Yeah, yeah,
as well. So yeah. So have you had any run-ins with Uranagi? Like, or was it like just high and by, or just online?
Nothing yet. Nothing yet on like social media or in person yet. I'm still fairly new. All my social media accounts and stuff are brand new and stuff. So I'm still finding other names, finding other people and that kind of such. Still
Okay.
networking, kind of.
But I will tell you what, if I see that, I'll be looking forward to seeing that. That if you guys ever become a trios, y'all know y'all gotta do a video for that. Like
Yeah,
I could see Magnifico like, hey, Terrifico, I want to introduce to a guy who's crazy on the scene. I know him from my past, and then all of a sudden you see you guys have that face off, and he's
oh,
and
yeah,
or
that'd be
something
sick.
like yeah, that would be, you guys got to do it like that, man. That would be epic. I would definitely pop. I'd be like, yo, they met. This is crazy. Like,
No,
you
that'd be
know,
awesome. Yeah, that'd be so sick.
yeah, yeah. I'm that wrestling fan that I tend to pop for some of the little moments that not a lot of people know. Like I'll see something and they'll be like, dude, what are you getting exciting for? Like, bro, if you only knew, then I explain something and they'll be like, oh, okay, okay, but they don't know because they haven't been following like I
Yeah.
have. So, or unless they're from that town. So, I'm one of those fans like that. So, so now that you're a fan and you're tuning in, who are some of your favorites that you enjoyed watching that you couldn't help but cheer for? You couldn't wait to see them on TV and all that.
Uh, Rey Mysterio, of course, because like he's just that good, and how can you not like cheer like Rey Mysterio? Uh, Kofi Kingston is another one. Xavier Woods, the New Day in general. Um,
Okay.
Recently for me, it's Dragon Lee. Whenever he's on TV, I think Dragon Lee's awesome. Um, even like a lot of the other LWO members, like Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wild, I think all of those guys are amazing and awesome, and I would love to see more of them on TV and just love seeing their stuff in general.
Yeah, I like the fact. I mean, obviously, I mean, I know I'm black and I'm not part of the Latino community, but I like to see um like like Mexican wrestlers get shown get. I like how it's going for them right now with the spotlight being on them. I mean, it's not just Rey Mysterio now. You have people like Dominic Mysterio who's actually getting some shine. And I keep telling people Dominic is going to be a big thing. Mark my words. He's going through the awkward Cody Rhodes phase right now.
Yeah,
And I tell people when I see Dominic, I see Cody Rhodes because I've seen his growth. And I keep telling them like Dominic's gonna be somebody huge. And then you got like, Dragon Lee, who I hope gets more shine than he's getting right now because he's phenomenal. And there's also the Joaquin Wild and I forgot what his tag team partner's
Cruz del
name
Toro.
is. Cruz del Toro. My bad.
Yeah.
Sorry if you see that. I'll remember your name next time, bro. And then you got the Garzas, my favorite.
Oh
Well,
yeah, they're
not the
they're great.
Garzas, but and Umberto and Angel, who are great in the ring as well too. So I'm glad they're getting that shine. I hope they get some more shine because I feel like they're not there. They're not giving them that shine more than they're supposed to get. But I'm hoping it happens very soon because I like the diversity, and I mean, I always say representation matters, and it inspires more future generations.
I completely agree. 100%. I completely agree.
Yeah. So, now that you're tuning in and you're cheering for your favorite wrestlers, how did your journey now go from El Terrifico wrestling fan to El Terrifico, one half of Tremendous Magnificence, graduate of Creative Pro Wrestling?
Well, I think it's the fandom can still help because it's like there's a lot of people to draw influence from, a lot of people to like look at for both me and Magnifico that we can apply to not only ourselves individually but ourselves as a tag team. you mentioning guys like the Garzas, Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro. They're also really good tag teams, as well as just solo acts when they can. I think we have a lot to take from our own teachings that we've had and apply that in wrestling as a whole, and show that, like you said earlier, there's not a lot of masked tag teams in the independents, and I feel like with us, there's a big chance that we can showcase some cool stuff. Some, as Kalisto would say, good lucha things.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Man, you mentioned Kalisto. That was another great guy, man. I'm like, geez, they could have done so much with him. Ugh. Anyway, um, but yeah, but I like the thing I noticed about y'all. Y'all have the color, the matching colors as well too. So I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. Like, that's definitely a tag team right there. So,
Thank you.
uh, so I gotta say, so now that you're pretty much doing your thing, as a wrestler now, you got the pat from you got the handshake from Brian, Coach Brian, Coach Kevin, and Coach Pat. But now you got to show the world what you can do. What all those weeks of training have actually um, done for you, and now you have your first match. So what was that like? Were you nervous, or were you confident? Saying something. I've gotten a lot of great training from one of the best wrestling schools in the country. I got this. Or was it a mixture of both?
I'd say a mixture of both. Very nervous because didn't want to really mess anything up. Debut, gotta show everyone what I can do. But I was confident because I think I'm ready. And I believe that, and I still believe I'm ready for this any opportunity. And it also helps to have someone like Magnifico with me, and have that person to lean on, and we can support each other, being like, hey, we got this, we're here for each other.
Wow, that's awesome. So there's another mass tag team, and I know right now a lot of people are excited. I'm excited too. The Lucha Bros, Phoenix and Phoenix and Penta. Lo siento, Penta. Like I said, I'm getting off work. I'm
You're good.
I
No
just had
worries.
some
You're
coffee,
no
so
good.
I'm trying to
You're good.
see. Yeah. So you got the Lucha Bros that are going to be WWE very soon. I'm excited. I know a lot of people are excited. In regards to you and your brother, who would you say is more like Phoenix, and who is more like Penta?
um, I'd say if we were really to box ourselves in as one of them, I'd say I'm more like Phoenix, because I think I'm willing to do some crazier, wilder stuff. Not saying Penta doesn't. Penta does his own wild stuff as well. But I
Right.
think with how we present ourselves, I think he's more like Penta,
Okay. Oh,
and I think I'm more Phoenix. Yeah.
oh, so he's the one that's going to be breaking shoulders and arms and fingers. And
Baby, yeah.
all right, that's good to know, man. That's good to know. So you mentioned that there's an older brother. Since now both of you are in wrestling. Has he ever thought about joining, or is he like, nah, I'm good. I'll just be a fan on the side.
I've tried getting him to come before to like try a day out, but he's not interested. He's got his own life. He's busy with doing his own thing.
Awesome. Yeah, that would be awesome. If like that'd be kind of cool if like all three brothers were in. That'd be something. You got like a bit of a dynasty right there.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I saw I saw the promo of you guys on CAP TV, the brief snippet of it, and you guys, like I said, that was a well done promo. I like the fact that you guys have actually like you've marketed yourself as a tag team. I'm actually excited to see when the shirts are gonna come out, man, because I'm definitely gonna cop me a Tremendous Magnificence shirt. Um, so now that you two are a tag team, who are some tag teams that y'all want to actually that are on y'all's list that y'all want to go against? They could be from anywhere, like the Indies, WBAW, New Japan. Like wrestling's unpredictable, so you never know.
Um, yeah, I think for me to say a few names, maybe like Miracle Generation in like the Indies, because I
Okay.
think that'd be a fun. I think that'd be a fun matchup. All four of us flying around, doing some fast paced offense, some fun technical stuff as well. Maybe to like give an answer for like a bunch of different places. Maybe like in AEW, maybe Top Flight, because that also is for the similar reason.
Okay.
Because I think those guys are also insane with the stuff that they can do.
Oh yeah.
I think like their brand of high flying plus like some lucha stuff, some against lucha high flying would be fun.
Okay.
Maybe if I was to give like a WWE name, I mean they're both there now, Lucha Brothers. Some regular lucha stuff, you know.
Okay.
I think I think I think I think there's a wide band that of like people we can go up against, and it'll be fun.
Wow. I can imagine. For some reason, I just got a vision of you, of them, Penta doing the Cero Miedo sign to you guys, and you guys look at each other and just like start like
We
throwing
do our own
haymakers
thing back.
at the two of them. That'd be a good match. That'd be a great match, though. I know it. I mean, definitely.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Yeah. So you're just starting. So, where are some places that you're hoping Tremendous Magnificence gets to wrestle? I mean, you're in my opinion, you're in one of the greatest areas, one of the hotbeds of pro wrestling. That's the tri-state area. Not, I don't just say New York. I don't just say New Jersey. I just say the tri-state area because
Right.
it's a matter of if you want to go to if you want to. Well, I'm in Brooklyn. If as a wrestling fan, I'm like, do I want to stay in Brooklyn? Do I want to go to Queens or the Bronx, or do I want to go over the river to New Jersey, or do I really want to be that motivated and take a Greyhound 2 hours over to Philadelphia? And I've
Yeah.
done that before too. So outside the tri-state, because I know for a fact you guys are going to be wrestling in all those places I just mentioned. But where are some other places that you're hoping to hit?
I also appreciate that you want to see us out there because we definitely want to get out there as soon as possible and just wrestle it wherever we can. I think some obvious names to say for like the indies in general maybe would be like a Beyond Wrestling or something with Wrestling Open or 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 maybe something with like Limitless or Blitzkrieg Pro or something.
Okay.
Maybe like a lot of like the big indies in like the Massachusetts area for sure. I think those are like the big ones, especially Beyond. I think if we were to get on Beyond someday, that'd be super fun.
I would definitely be cheering y'all on. I would actually be like, yo, I'd call like my co-hosts or the rest of my ringside side team, like, yo, we just had these guys on our show. And I've done it before. Like I told our guest yesterday, the Cardinal Nick Thompson, I'm like, don't be surprised. We've had people on the show. Roxanne Perez was on our show at one point. We've had, Ren Sinclair, who's over in WB. We've also had people like this one guy. One another story. This is why I always say it's a good thing we never shy anybody, or we never ignore anybody that follows us. We have had Jake Cartwheel, who was actually signed,
Okay.
who was under the WBID banner. So, and that was that was another great episode as well too. So, I mean, we have had people that have been on here that ended up, doing
Doing big
great
things.
things. So, yeah, I mean, you never know, but I'm
Hopefully
hoping.
something we become big names soon then.
Oh yeah, I'm hoping you get to hit all those places like that you just mentioned. Like I said, I'll definitely be cheering y'all on. So I know you're fairly new to pro wrestling, but so far, right? I mean, I know you're fairly new. You're fairly new as a pro wrestler. But so far, since the beginning of your journey from starting wrestling school to graduating to your first match, um, even up to now, what is the most profound thing that you've heard in regards to pro wrestling?
What's like the
What
most profound thing?
that you've heard or you've learned since becoming a pro wrestler?
Uh, I wouldn't say profound, but maybe like important thing that I've learned is just to like try to. It's something I still need to be better at. Is like being there in the moment kind of thing, or just like being able to still take everything in while I'm doing everything. But maybe I'm thinking about the question wrong. But yeah, I guess kind of just having like just still somehow being present while doing everything, I guess.
Okay, awesome. So I just got two more questions before we pretty much call it a show.
Sure.
So my second to last question is: whenever you're in the gym working out, or whenever you're getting ready to face your opponent, right? What are some songs that are on El Terrifico's playlist?
um, I'd have to say a few, maybe like top three songs that'd be on that playlist are "Hit the Floor" by Linkin Park,
Oh wow!
um, "Spit Out the Bone" by Metallica, and what would be a good last one? Because my playlist goes all over the place. One Step Closer by Linkin Park as well. A lot of Linkin Park in there.
Wow, yeah, they're a pretty good they're a pretty good band. R.I.P. Chester Bennington. I remembered I had a few of their earlier stuff like from the 2000s, but I know that one album that I blasted to pretty much bits, not literally, but I always had it on in rotation. It was that joint album they did with Jay-Z.
Oh
That
yeah, yeah,
album, like that album is one album I could definitely work out to. Like that's
it's so
it was
good.
yeah, one of the few albums that that in all genres of music that I can listen to through and through and never get bored of it. I actually enjoy that album.
Yeah, it's so good. It's hilarious. It's something you didn't know you needed, but when you listen to it, it's like, yeah, I needed this. It's so good.
Yeah. So my last question, like, so you're new on the scene, but let's say if somebody actually there was a fan that saw you, doing your thing, giving one hell of a performance, and they came up into you and they were like, "Wow, Terrifico, that was awesome, man! Yo, you tore the house down. Yo, I'm thinking about becoming a wrestler, and I want to do the same thing that you're doing, man. Like get the crowd reaction and everything. What would your advice be to that person that's looking to get into pro wrestling?"
I'd say, especially if it's like you're gonna start training soon, and you're like your first day is gonna be happening soon, is just be a sponge. Listen to everything, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Because I made plenty of mistakes when I was starting, and I still make mistakes, and I'm still making mistakes, and I'm probably going to still make mistakes. It's it happens, stuff happens, but you know, don't let don't let that discourage you. Be a sponge, especially if your coaches are telling you something that will be important, even if it doesn't feel like it'll be important. Listen to it. Everything will be super important because something will help you down the road at some point, whether it's like the most light bulb going off thing, or even being like, okay, it's something I never thought about, type of thing.
Awesome. So for those of you that are looking to get into pro wrestling, y'all just heard it from one of the future greats. And I'm saying this right now, tremendous magnificence. I'm not saying this because you're in front of me. I'm just saying because from what I've seen from you and your brother, y'all are gonna be going to the top. I just know it. So y'all just heard from y'all just got a little something from El Terrifico, courtesy of Ringside Sighted. A little bit of advice for those of you that are looking to get into wrestling. Anything else, you probably got to hit up his Zelle, his Cash App, or what else do they use these days? PayPal, because the
Yeah,
man's a busy
PayPal.
man. The man's a busy man, so. Y'all got a little something courtesy of Ringside Society. So with that being said, I just gotta say, El Terrifico, thank you very much, on behalf of myself and the rest of my team. Thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to, be a guest on our show and, to share with us your story of your journey. We really and truly appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing more from, Tremendous Magnificence in the coming months. 'Cause I know y'all are going to be a hit in the upcoming months. So, we know y'all going to be hitting everything. And like I said, hopefully, down the road we can have both y'all back on soon. To
Yeah, man,
see
that'd be fun.
how progressive y'all become. And like I said, I know it's gonna happen. I can feel it in my gut. So yeah.
Thank
So
you, man. I appreciate it.
hey, no problem, man. So with that
Thank you for
being
having me.
said, yeah, no problem. Thank you for giving us the opportunity. Before we shut this show down, though, where can fans find you on social media when they want to, find out next experiences, purchase tremendous magnificence merchandise or El Terrifico merchandise, and where can bookers or promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
You can find me on Twitter or X and Instagram at Terrifico_L. Working on hopefully some merchandise, maybe. We'll see. We'll see in the future. Mostly we'll be posting on Instagram a lot. We'll try to get to Twitter as much as I can, but at Terrifico_L was my social media handles.
Awesome. So y'all heard he's on social media. Go ahead and give him a follow. And also, when that merch comes out, make sure you cop it, because if you can't make the shows that he's at, another way you could support is by purchasing the merchandise. And that way, when he gets signed, when him and his brother get signed to AEW or WWE, or they're on those tours in New Japan or Europe, and some jabroni goes, "Hey, I just got the new Tremendous Magnificent shirt," you could be like, "Yeah, you know something? That's cool, bro. But I got their first shirt when they first started.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm a real fan." So it's always great to support somebody at the beginning of their journey. So go ahead, give them a follow, cop the merch, and of course, support independent wrestling. That's where the majority of your mainstream wrestling stars come from. Is the indies. And trust me, you won't regret what I'm telling you. So, with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this show down. My eyelids are getting heavy. My stomach is rumbling. That means it's time for dinner and a nap. Maybe not in that order, but before I partake in those activities, if you want to find me on social media, not that I say a lot of cool things, but I do go to a lot of cool places. You can definitely find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Remy Blue, and also on TikTok at the Remy Blue as well. I will be going to Vegas this month, and then hopefully, if everything works out, Tokyo the next month. So I will show y'all some cool stuff there. And I'm also on Facebook as Remy Blue, of course, and also on Blue Sky at remyblue.bsky.social. Our podcast, more importantly, is also on social media as well. We're on Twitter, Instagram. We're Twitter and Instagram at Ringside Society, Twitch at Ringside Society 2019. We're on Blue Sky as well at Ringside Society.bsky.social. And we're also on Spotify and Teespring, where you can buy official Ringside Society merchandise. We have t-shirts, we have hoodies, we even have coffee mugs. We have 3 designs right now. We're working on putting up the rest later on. And like I said, y'all check us out, cop some merch. All proceeds go back into keeping our show afloat. They do not go back in our pockets. And last but not least, we have a YouTube channel where you can see cool interviews like this one, like the one we have with El Magnifico, our most recent guest, the Cardinal Nick Thompson, and so many more great interviews you can find on YouTube. And to see them, it's very simple. It's not even pre-algebra. Just go on YouTube, type in Ringside Society, and when you see that really good-looking dark blue and light blue, yin yang sound with the blue things around it, that's when you know it's us. So make sure you subscribe to all our videos because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up, and you don't want to miss a thing like Aerosmith in 1998. And with that being said, we just want to thank everybody tuning in live tonight. Thank you very much. We really and truly appreciate it. We strive on being one of the best wrestling podcasts a wrestling fan could, should, and would listen to, and we're not going to stop doing that. To those of you that are going to listen later on, we get a chance. Thank you very much in advance. And those of y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really truly wish we'd go away. Well, like myself at Golden Corral, we're not going anywhere for a while. So with that being said, we just want to let everybody know we're very well and aware. It's no secret. Everybody and their grandparents and their parents have a podcast. Well, we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. With that being said, I'm going to say it one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, one time for tremendous magnificence, and one time for our guest tonight, El Terrifico. We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. We'll be back maybe tomorrow, maybe this weekend with another impressive episode. But until then, we just have 4 favors for y'all. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and enjoy wrestling. We out. Peace.